Greetings, residents, to another edition of my Front Porch Chats here at Carnwath Farms. I welcome you today. I had originally planned to talk about a couple of initiatives relating to Wappinger Creek and Sprout Creek, but because of the weather, which is really the focus today of my comments to you, I'll defer that to perhaps next week, another time, to talk about that. As we move into our second day of the heat wave, this being Thursday morning, I want to talk about the issue of health concerns during this period of time. During the days ahead, and especially through the weekend, it looks like that we're going to have extreme heat and humidity in the mid-90s as far as the heat, the 70s or higher, concerning the humidity. Normally, I'd be suggesting that during the daytime in this beautiful summer weather, generally speaking, beautiful weather, to come on out to our parks. But because of the heat and humidity, if you want to come out of the parks, come out in the early morning or late in the afternoon, early evening, hopefully when the heat and humidity has dropped somewhat. But generally speaking, please, stay home as much as possible in air-conditioned space. There are a number of cooling centers that are found in our local area. Hopefully we'll be able to show those on the screen. They're available in the websites. I'm going to have it posted on our Town of Wappinger website. As far as the town is concerned, we'll always welcome you to come in during our operating hours from 8:30 to 4 in the afternoon. In fact, in our senior center, we can stay open longer as needed for our residents who want to escape, from the heat and humidity. A little breeze out here today is helping us. Just some words of advice that I want to share from the various years that I've been looking at. One is, you always hear this, but a lot of people still don't follow it. Please, during this heat and humidity, stay hydrated. Please drink plenty of liquids, but not caffeine and not alcohol, because those just exasperate kind of the heat impact on the body. I tell people to try to limit the opening and closing of your refrigerator doors. That, of course, puts a strain on the electrical system, and also with this heat and humidity allows a lot more heat to enter the refrigerator. What I generally try to do is get some ice from one of the convenience stores or the supermarket and keep it in an ice chest so that then I can use it to refill, especially during the weekend when you're home and tending to use a lot more in the way of ice. Definitely advise avoid strenuous activities throughout this period. Only the best of athletes can withstand the heat and humidity. Even then, there's plenty of occasions when athletes suffer from heat stroke and actually once in a while have more serious ailments as a result of that heat stroke. When you're outside, when you're walking in our parks, when you're walking around the streets, please remember to wear loose-fitting, lightweight, and colorful, not dark, clothing that will allow your body to sweat and to give off some of the heat that it's building up. Always wear sunscreen. I keep with me a small stick of sunscreen that generally I'll use during, if I'm outside unexpectedly. This particular brand, Neutrogen Ultra Sheer Face and Body Stick, comes in very handy for me. So if you're out there, especially if you're out unexpectedly, wear the sunscreen. Always carry with you a bottle of water, when you're outside, and just drink that as regularly as you can. And I like to wear a hat. Some of you see me wearing hats. This one I'll wear when I'm walking outside to just reflect some of the heat to keep it from getting in my head. More importantly, although those are very important items, watch carefully for signs of heat stroke, heat exhaustion. And this is particularly family members, elderly family members, disabled, also young kids who tend to get out and like to get outside and don't think about the heat. Some of the signs that you should be looking for, it won't necessarily be all of them, but several of these, if you see that in a person normally is not feeling ill, then please be very conscious of it, and I'll talk about that in a minute or two. But of the signs that are more common, one would be headaches. You start feeling more, whether it's pressure or headache going on, dizziness, especially among elderly, tends to be more common. Dizziness and, in fact, some confusion, not sure of where you are or what you may be doing. Loss of appetite certainly comes on during the midday or even in the evening if you've been exposed to the sun. But even if not, even if you're at home and you don't have the right cooling, you can suffer heat stroke as well. Excessive sweating and fast breathing, increased tempo in your breathing, will be signs of heat stroke or something more serious. Of course, always being thirsty. And then last, but by no means least, for people that keep track of your temperatures, particularly while COVID's out here, if your temperature gets to 100 or 100.4 is kind of the warning sign, that along with a couple of these other indicia, these symptoms could be, really an alarm going off for you to, pay close attention to. This being said, please stay in regular contact with your family, friends, neighbors to make sure that they are doing okay in this extremely excessive heat and humidity type of weather. One thing that people tend to forget is your pets. So don't forget your pets. They have even more difficulty in dealing with the heat, especially the ones with a lot of fur. So give them a haircut during the summer. But more importantly, put water out, for them. Make sure that they have that ability to drink more regularly. I even put, constructed a bird feeder yesterday, to put bird bath, out there to put water in for the birds and leaving a little bowl for some of the four-legged critters that run around through the yard and the garden, such as chipmunks. So please be conscious of our fine feathered and four-legged friends. Another word of advice is if you have a lot of windows that are exposed to the sun, keep the curtains or blinds down or shut in order to keep out some of that light and humidity. Also, what we tend to forget, but is very much a problem during heat spells like this, I just saw on the news again of the Texas outages or potential for outages, is that we could suffer an intermittent power outage even in this area. So be prepared. Keep a kit, a box that would have things such as some first aid materials, extra water, non-perishable foodstuffs that you could use in the event that the electricity goes out and you're dependent on electricity at home. Of course, try to minimize the use of your stove and ovens, which just generate more heat, for your kitchen throughout. And always remember extra batteries, for your flashlights. Make sure you have a flashlight or two available, and keep those batteries available in the event that we have a power outage. Central Hudson is good in advising us, and when we see something happening, we'll put it out on Facebook, social media, and our own website. And last but by no means least on this list concerning heat stroke, heat exhaustion, is never leave your pets or your children unattended in any of your vehicles. Even if you're going out to the store and you're parked alongside the curb, just a few minutes in a closed car can be suffocating. So never do that. Just take them with you. Have somebody watch at home, or a friend, neighbor, family member, but never, never leave your children, your pets, or also your grandmother unattended in a car, and particularly one that's sealed. But even if a car has its windows open, that heat that is building up and is bouncing off or being absorbed by the car can be deadly. So please be very conscious of that. Another thing, that having lived in hot climates, I've lived in a few during my life, such as Texas or Taiwan, where the humidity and heat is very high during the summer. And it's one of those things where also I have learned to eat certain foods that also have a cooling effect. For example, watermelons. Watermelons, because of the water content, do help cool you down to some degree. And so it's enjoyable to eat a melon. Any melons are fine, but watermelons are the best because of the water content. Also, I love cucumbers. They have a lot of water in it, so cucumber salads during the summer. I'm growing cucumbers in my garden. Actually, it's been a bountiful year. So that's been quite good. So instead of eating a heavy meal at home, at night I'll have a cucumber salad, maybe some chicken, maybe some noodles, that go with that. Another thing that I like to do is I grow mint in the garden, several varieties of mint. So I'll put together some lemon water with mint that has a very cooling effect, but also the mint does impact positively your body during the summer. So that's something easy to do and easy to prepare. And also I found that coconut water, since coconut water is so readily available these days in your supermarkets, some convenience stores, that because of the water content and the nutritional value also helps you doing quite well. If you feel hot, please observe these points that I've mentioned. There are others. If you need to take a cool shower or a cold water bath, do that. That will help reduce the body temperature. So please be very careful, mindful of what we're now encountering going forward. I will mention that our recycle yard will remain open for this Saturday. I tried to encourage our men to consider taking a break and shutting it down, but they want to service the community. I've been very insistent that they drink more water, that we have some umbrellas and take care of that. So for those folks that do have trash, disposables, garbage, to take to the center, it will be open as of right now on our Saturday at the normal hours in the morning. So please make sure that when you're out there, you spend as little time as you can, because it's also going to put you out in the hot sun. I want to remind everyone that our concert series, our Summers in the Park, Slothouse Park, are ongoing. Last week, first two actually, we had a tremendous turnout. I think last week maybe 250 people were out there. And it was a great music, a great band performance. I think since it's occurring in the late afternoon, early evening, in the evening time, starting at 7 o'clock, then the sun is going down and it starts cooling off and you get outdoors. Tonight, we're going to have the Harvest Band out there. Looks like right now there's no weather forecast for thunderstorms, so it looks like that we'll be able to go on with that performance. And then over the next 4 weeks, we'll continue to have our summer series. Next week it will be Cloud 9, August the 4th, Midnight Slim and Lori Ann. On August 11th, Southern Duchess Concert Band. And then last but by no means least, on the 18th, it's Tracy DeLucia. So go to our website if you want more information, and please bring your water, bring your ice cooler and come out and enjoy these concert series. Despite the hot weather, you should have a good time and hopefully a lot of fun, while you're at it. Last but by no means least, yesterday the Office of the Aging in Dutchess County held the 30th year senior picnic. That was held at our Robinson Lane ball fields. It was a great event. Actually, I think our best turnout that we've had under a big white tent. We were really honored in the presence of Mark Molinaro, our county executive, who is also running for election for the U.S. Congress. He was there, graced us, doing a lot of emceeing. We also had Senator, Serino, show up, and our sheriff, Sheriff Emperati, were there. Other elected officials also, participated and helped hand out food. So I appreciate in that regard Councilman Al Casella handing out some of the food to our seniors. But it was a great time. I had opportunity to talk with a number of seniors, and I look forward to seeing you more. Remember, our senior center is open, fully active. We've had a number of new members, and we hope to see more come out. We have a growing list of activities. And last but not least, mark August the 20th on your calendars. August the 20th, I think from noon to evening time, here at Slaughterhouse Park, we're going to have a bluegrass festival. We have 4 great bands lined up. You have some food trucks lined up, so come on out. Mark it on your calendars for the summer bluegrass festival. We hope that this will become an annual event. So again, a reminder, please make sure you hydrate, take care of yourselves, follow some of the guidelines, if not all of them, that I've set up for you. And then until soon, please stay cool and remain well. Thank you very much, and have a great day and the next few days ahead.